Hello, you are watching my YouTube channel. I am your host, Kamran Arshad. Today, I have invited a guest in this vlog, and I am going to discuss his life, his visions, his goals, and most importantly, his field. Hi and welcome. We are delighted to have Hassan Masood today with us. Hassan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this interview.
Pleasure, sir. But to kick off, could you please tell us, sir, what inspired you to pursue a career as head of human resource group Volvo Private Limited? You are affiliated with that, and perhaps share a bit about your journey leading up to your current role.
Right. Well, I'll try to within 2 minutes. Actually, HR was never my role, and I never thought of coming into the HR. From the beginning, I was a kind of a person who was in accountancy. But later in my, I realized that I'm also not that kind of a person
Mm,
who can be an introvert and make up his head down and then totally going with the number crunching. So
mm,
back at a very good time, reassessed myself and I got myself reassessed from another third party. So they mentioned that being an extrovert, you should go to any field which is related to the people management
mm,
or with the people engaging skill.
mm,
So marketing was never my focus. So I thought to let's try the HR.
mm,
So HR is totally by chance. It wasn't a choice.
mm,
And commencing my career from MEN Diesel and Turbo, which is also a German giant,
mm,
precisely in the automotive industry.
mm,
I started my official professional career from there. Then going into the detail, it was that I served in Lahore. Over there, I went on different of the projects. I mean, a lot of people.
mm,
And there was a time when COVID was hit, so I had been given an opportunity to work with a company in Peshawar. So I stayed there for years dealing with khas तौर I mean, dealing
mm,
with those people. I mean, what you call the KPK is not a joke, but it was an experience. Precisely, many people don't even take it that there is a discrimination between the provincial areas, but yes, there is to some extent, but it's not in that limelight.
mm,
So I stayed there for 3 years. It was to me, and then I was given an opportunity in this company, which is actually and again an automotive into the trucks, buses, and construction and mining equipment. And dealing with the people, understanding their issues were two of my major things. The empathetic level, sympathetic levels. That is what actually made me interested in pursuing this career because um, the one who knows its people will be able to understand what actually they are going through. And this is what inspired me to and to excel in here.
mm. And now you are at that position because you inspired a lot of people who are actually around us and like me. Because when I was reading your profile, so I thought I have to invite you for an interview. And right now I'm recording your interview. Because the thing is, when I was reading your profile, so I came to know that you have a lot of potential, you have a lot of experience in different fields, in different backgrounds. So definitely I have to record your interview and it will help to those people who wants to join the office, who wants to know the culture of the offices, how to deal with the obstacles or difficulties. So that's why I invite you. Okay, Sir Hassan, could you please confirm me about your education background? What have you done in education?
Well, I noticed that I was kind of an average student, and after that, when I was in ACCA, I left it, and I thought to do something else, and that is precisely PHR. So I took admission in the Masters in Human Resource Management. Completed it in back in 2015. Before that, from UMT. And while doing that, I was given a opportunity to. I mean, basically, there was a project which I mean Diesel and Turbo, which is now known as Solutions. They wanted a person to whom they can given a task of their community radical gaps. Why there is a disconnection with the top management and the labor and the middle management. So I believe that somewhere or the other I did something after which I was being interviewed by a very prominent person uh, in Amiens, and my interview lasted for 2 minutes.
Mm.
And after that, I was given an opportunity to work in a
Mm.
multinational.
Mm. Okay, let's move on. How do you align the HR strategy with the overall business objectives at Volvo? And can you provide an example of a strategic HR initiative you have implemented that significantly impacted the company?
I can go with the recent example of Pakistan is going through. As you know that since 2.5 years, country economically. So the first segment which was hit by the market because of uncertainties in Pakistan, that was the automotive.
We are still suffering
So
with
we
that.
had to, yeah. So we had to do something. We had to do something in which we have to make sure the society and everything, though it was there, but we came up with a plan of transformation, form of transform to perform. This is an activity known in the cultural world, corporate cultural world, the activity. In this, you optimize your processes. You optimize your processes, you optimize your business processes, and you come down to that where we can save a single penny, because saving a single penny will actually earn you to two later in the time. So that was an activity I conducted strategically, keeping the employees motivated, but by putting up everything in a that actually saved millions of rupees per month. So it's really very easy of saying that it was an activity I did, but in fact you are uh, re-engineering the business processes, engineering the HR processes. There is a high speculation which from top to down, specifically from the middle management to down,
Mm.
that might come down the operation. So whenever these kind of activities, when the HR is coming up with thinking, we have to be very precise, very clear of what the words and HR speaking, talking, and coming into its communication on daily or by in-person talks.
Mm.
Because you never know, the receptor is actually listening those words. They have a total different perception.
Mm.
So it's very precise that whenever you have done strategical movement or strategical decision, you have to be very precise, very and clear in your communication. Because there was a very well-known who was working in ICI Kyoda plant, Sodash. He once mentioned that each spoken by an HR is a law. And
Mm.
that I precisely noted in my mind that be very careful when you are dealing with the people. So my strategically, I was the person who steered that activity, and then the communication part. That was very important.
So you have mentioned two times or three times communication. So the question is that what is communication skills according to your perception? Because you are heading, you are leading from the front, you are the head of human resource. So communication is an essential part if someone wants to get a job, if someone wants to reach the top. So if he knows or she knows how to communicate with the people, if he or she doesn't have the fear of public speaking. So what is communication according to your perception?
According to my perception, the communication is the choosing of right words according to that situation.
Oh, that's great.
Because
Using the right words according to the situation. Am I right?
exactly.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't mean that one has to lie or one has to do whatever, but situation matters the most. There was a study which I was reading. That was I was somewhere in Cambridge or whatever in Sweden. It was that human is capable of interpreting same situation. If a person is 200 times, it will interpret it differently 200 times.
Yeah, fully agreed.
So, so you never know that one statement you have given. So will he be taking your the same statement next time with the same positive mindset? So my take is that choosing the right words, the given situation.
Hmm.
Number two. They should be very transparent and should be according to the audience to whom you are communicating. For example, if I am communicating something to the people who are working on a very low cadre, for example, take as a janitorial staff.
Mm,
So the way we are talking in the English, they won't be able to understand one word.
mm.
So the medium of the communication should be audience. The content should be as per the audience. And then always good to ask the question that are you able to understand kind of these questions? Are you able to understand what my point is? So
Mm.
that once your mindset and the other mindset to whom you are telling is same, that is where the succession comes in.
That's great.
Now, your more question within this communication question, you also asked
Yeah,
another question.
sure.
Uh, in kind of the interviewing skills or whatever that is, the
Because
what should
I
be the
am the
communication and
victim.
what.
That's why I'm asking these kind of questions. Because I have to
But,
go a lot of offices for an interview, and I have done a lot of interviews in my life. Interview for a job, not taking the interview. It's my passion to record an interview because I have worked in PTV and Radio Pakistan as an anchor. But the point is that when I go anywhere for an interview, so I thought either I'm gonna select it or reject it. But my point is that I have a reservation with any department of HR, with any office, that if you reject someone that he or she is not being able to do that work, he or she has applied for the post. So you can reject. You have authority to reject him or her. But the point is that you have to mention him or her. Is this the task? Is this the weakness you have to overcome on this, and we will greet you, we will welcome you again for an interview. But they don't intimate the person who has applied for the job that you are rejected for this reason. So kindly address these kind of questions because I am the victim.
okay, so being a victim, what I can offer you is that uh, don't talk for these kind of number one. And number two, in all of my career, I always distinguish myself that I'm not kind of the regular HR who only to sit and talk, take an interview, and then with the one clear statement mention, we'll let you know. Your main duty, your main, I mean, this fiduciary should be a fiduciary law on the age of eternity. That you, if a candidate is over there at your office or on Zoom or whatever, you are taking it's your duty to tell his shortcomings either on the second day, right after the interview.
Hmm.
Because how will the candidate and what are my shortcomings? Because for him, he will be completely 100% package.
Yeah.
But the panel who is taking the interview has done so many interviews, have been met candidates. They are the ones, they should communicate that you were not assertive in
Hmm.
your communication was not clear,
Hmm.
your body language was not liaison or synced with your words,
Hmm.
your eye contact was not there.
Hmm.
For example, if there is a written test, we are really sorry. It was pleasure that you are here, but we are giving you a sorry note that you have not been able to manage. This is the feedback, and it will actually work on him. That okay, these are my shortcomings. This is that I have to work, and this is what I have been doing my whole life.
And did you get
Every
the
interview,
feedback
after
of HR
every interview.
representatives who are taking the interviews?
Sorry, come again.
I'm asking, did you ever take the feedback from the HR representatives who are taking the interviews?
Let me tell you one thing, Kamal. One who has a tendency and who takes this field
Hmm.
really will give you a feedback without your asking.
Hmm.
Who is not giving you the feedback and you have to ask for the feedback, still you don't get back, that is only a lame formality
Hmm.
for which they have called just to put up a number. The person has already been hired somewhere in the mind or somewhere in the mind, and this is only that out for this position. We have interviewed 20 people. Out of those 20 people showed up, we have shortlisted five. From five, we conducted four. From four, we have reached to one. all name. The one who is a true HR will give you an honest because um, always remember, always remember, an HR is an authority which is given by the omnipotent, which is Allah,
mm,
that his sign, an employee is able to enter a company,
mm,
and with his sign, an employee can get a termination notice.
mm.
The one who is doing a justice to this privileged authority will always be loyal and will always be true to its candidates.
Fair enough. Let me share let me share a story to you. The point is that I went somewhere for an interview and they have rejected me. No problem. But the point is that he or she said to me, you do not have an American accent, so we need American accent, right? Either I have improved a lot, I have done some practices for doing that. But my point is that the person who was telling me that you do not have an American accent, he was speaking in a native style. He is actually at the position where he judged me that he did not have an American accent. But my point is that when I judged him, that he was native speaker. He was speaking like Pakistani English, right? So my point is that if you get the position where your decision will be matter a lot for the candidate who has come to your office for an interview for getting a job, and you do not have that skill you are looking for.
Again, I will come again to my point. These
My
kind of
point.
interviews
Uh,
are
uh,
a lame experience.
hmm, hmm,
I'm telling you, because someone who is taking an interview of yours and demanding an American accent should be an American as a native American accent.
You know what I'm saying, sir? I fully agree with you. But my point is that, okay, let me tell you one thing. If you are speaking with an American, the person who lives in UK, right? He or she will not judge you.
Never,
They will just
never.
say English is a medium to communicate. Just
Right.
convey your message. It's enough. But right now, we are living in Pakistan, and we judge the people that you do not have an American accent, you do not have the fluency, you are not aware how to speak, when to speak. So my point is that if you are trying to copy them, that we should speak like an American or Britain people, but they don't judge us. They use English language as a medium to communicate with each other. You want to add something? You would like to add something?
I would like to give you another example of what the Western world is. In Western world, there is no annual examination of promoting a one class student to two class year.
Hmm.
There is no annual examination of promoting from two to onwards
Hmm.
because they value the skill,
Hmm.
competency. The dilemma of our country is basically the teacher who knows good English
Hmm.
are being given a of a lord,
Hmm.
right? Nonetheless, they are not good in competency. Nonetheless, they don't have the proper skill. If you are a good tongue twister with a very good fluency in English, then you can secure any job of the world in Pakistan.
Really?
Now, point. The person to whom you have given an interview should be in a position to tell you that I'm not for an American accent, I'm looking for a neutral accent.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm looking for a neutral accent because I myself is possessing a neutral accent.
Hmm. But you should know how to
You
speak.
can no, I won't buy his comment, what he gave to you, that communication was not clear or whatever he's told to you. But uh, the main thing is that he should understand that there is a person who is sitting in is not a candidate, it's a family.
Mm. Yeah.
And when you are dealing with a family, so you
Mm.
should have this type of decency in you
Mm.
to judge him or to evaluate him in a way that he is
Mm.
not humiliated.
Mm.
The kind of comments you received, Kamran, they
Mm.
are not rejection comments. They are humiliated based comments.
Mm. Right.
You represented a good education which is given by your parents that you didn't involve yourself in an argument right there and then.
Mm.
That who are you to ask me that why don't I have an American accent where you don't have an American accent?
Absolutely.
You restrained
Mm.
yourself, which is good for you. That it will pay you in
Mm.
future. Trust me, brother. But these kind of people, they are not even giving you a lesson. Consider yourself that they are time wasters. That's it.
Mm. And he is not the person who is waiting for getting that job. There is a family behind him. They're also waiting that today our son or daughter will get a job. He or she will bear our kitchen expenses. So you have to give them a margin as much as you can. If
Exactly.
you highlighted some of the shortcomings of the person, you can train him 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He'll be able to do with great zeal. But the point is that they are not willing to give him a chance to grow. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the people who went there and they got rejected. Just for once, you have an excellent body language, man. Your confidence was awesome, but you do not have an American accent. What is this? I'm getting emotional, sorry, because you are telling you are highlighting, you highlighted a lot of points which I had in my mind, and you have cleared that. So my question is that why we judge the people, Sarasan?
It is just because you know what. I link your question with one of an example of my past. Um, there is a HR documentation in every company.
Hmm.
There are so many documents available. Every employee has its own file. The persons who have left, persons who are currently working. I make sure that those files are neat and clean because for me, that is not a file, life.
Hmm.
Life of an employee who has invested his time, who has invested his energies
Hmm.
into a company. So one who understands it's not just a file, it's
Hmm.
not just a paper, it's a
Hmm.
life.
Hmm.
Up to one paper of a BSc engineer guy who has done a mechanical from UAT, it's just a single, but that paper involves a lot of amount invested by his father, a lot of pain invested by himself with the 4 years.
Hmm.
So people have to understand, the people in the HR have to understand that something which you have to be very sure that this is a life, this is not a
Hmm.
file.
Hmm.
Secondly, anyone who do these kind of things, what actually happen other people, I know that there are many people who go through this thing. They are actually in
Hmm.
justice to their job. And
Justice to
believe
their
you
job.
me, what
An
they are not
incredible
doing
statement
justice
you have given. Justice for the job. Hmm.
exactly. And you know what? I also agree on this in my recent life, in my few experiences, not far, not even 3 years, within these 3 years,
Hmm.
I have seen people possessing good position and later sending me the CVs to if there is any job available, Hassan. We are
Hmm.
even ready to come to take down
I was thinking
because
the same.
I know I know what they have been doing,
Hmm.
and trust me, the entity to whom we all belong, who is
Hmm.
sitting upwards and we don't know who he is, just we have faith on him, has put the cases on fast track and is in the world, you'll see what you have done.
I was thinking the same.
you'll see what you have done because it's running very fast.
Hmm. Hmm.
Currently, we are in a phase of bringing up the budgets for 2025. It's just a
Hmm.
long, hectic activity. But I was just thinking that it was just 2, 3 months back that I made a budget of 24, but it was 12 months back. So
Hmm.
the pace of time is so fast that you don't even remember to whom you have done injustice.
Hmm. You are absolutely right.
So this is what my take is on your question is that they are not justice and these kind of I literally have sympathies for them. They are not exposed to an environment to kind of environment I've been exposed to my almighty that I was given so many opportunities that I
MashaAllah.
literally worked with then I literally worked by and I literally worked on my own self learning. You
Hmm.
know, self learning will actually give you insight of what on what pace, on what level, on what things you have to work on. So self-learning is very important. And trust me,
Hmm.
what you are doing right now, conducting interviews and then talking, this is your knowledge repository, talking to talking to different people, having their own experiences and come and clubbing it in yourself.
Hmm.
So somewhere down the line, if you'll go in an organization and come up with this kind of question, so you will have a strike in your mind. Sir Hassan told me the answer, and this is his experience. So
Hmm.
this I should speak right now. This is what you are doing, and it's a good job.
Yeah. Sarasan, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really wonderful having you here and learning from your experiences. But before I wrap up, is there anything else you would like to share with our audience or any message you would like to leave them with?
I would only say best of luck to you in your future endeavors, and best of luck to your search. And to all my HR fraternity, I would say that kindly do the justice candidates. They are not just candidates; it's a full family. So try to understand what the family expectation wants. You also were a candidate.
Hmm. Or any message or any suggestion for me?
For you,
Yeah.
you can talk to me offline.
Okay. So thank you so much once again. Thank you for
Right.
your time
Thank you,
that you have
thank
participated
you.
in podcast, and it will definitely gonna help with those people who wants to join any of the department. If they watch this podcast, they will get some strategies to apply in their life, and they can get success, and they can get the place where people will say about them they have been succeeded like you. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Have a lovely day. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you. Thank you.